Welcome to How to Conquer the Completing the Square Part B. So this is a sequel to the Part A. So if you're new to completing the square, I would suggest that you watch Part A because that covers all of the details and vocabulary of completing the square. So today, what I'm going to cover is completing the square when A is something other than 1, meaning it's greater than 1, or it's less than 1, noting that it can never be 0, because then it wouldn't be a quadratic function and you couldn't complete the square. So just to recap from Part A, we are going to complete the square to find the solutions. Completing the square is a method to finding the solutions of a quadratic function, and the solutions of a quadratic function are the x-intercepts, or the roots. So now we're going to add a new step 1. So yesterday or the previous Part A did not include this step. So if A is something other than 1, and here A has a value of 2, you first want to divide all terms by the value of A. So you're going to force this equation to have a value of the coefficient of x squared will be 1 before you can begin to complete the square. So here I've divided each term by 2 and simplified. Now we go into the video from prior and everything is the same from here on out. So we have our quadratic function in standard form, and we are going to subtract 22 from both sides to put the c value on the right side of the equal sign. So here we have this. Now we're going to create a perfect square trinomial on the left. So I'm going to find half of b, so half of 10 is 5, square it, and I get 25. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. So now I've created my perfect square trinomial. I'm going to write it as such. X plus 5 squared is equivalent to this. And then I've combined like terms. Negative 22 and 5 is 3. Now to solve, I'm going to take the square root of both sides, which is x plus 5 equals positive and negative 1.73. I've rounded to the nearest hundredth. Subtract 5 from both sides, and I get that my two roots are negative 3 and 27 hundredths and negative 6 and 73 hundredths. All right, your turn. So remember, we've added a new step, making sure that before you can start to complete the square that A has a value of 1. So go ahead and pause, complete the square, and come back and check your work. Welcome back. Step 1, I'm going to divide every term by 2, leaving me x squared minus 8x plus 10 equals 0. Next step, I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides so that I can force a perfect square trinomial on the left. Half of 8, negative 8, is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. So here is my perfect square trinomial, and note that I've added 16 to both sides. I write as a perfect square binomial, x minus 4 squared is equal to negative 10 plus 6 is 6. Take the square root of both sides. X minus 4 equals positive and negative 2.45. Add 4 to both sides, and you get 1 and 55 hundredths and 6 and 45 hundredths. Okay, try another one. Go ahead and pause, complete the square, and come back to check your work. Welcome back. So first thing I did was I divided each term by negative 3, which is the coefficient of x squared, the A value. Simplified. Now I'm going to add 17 thirds to both sides, which will give you 57 thirds, which is equivalent to 19. Now we want to find our value for c to force this to be a perfect square trinomial. Half of 8 is 4, and 4 squared is 16, so I add 16 to both sides. Writing it as my perfect square, x plus 4 squared equals 35. 19 plus 16 gives me the 35. Find the square root of both sides. leaving me x plus 4 equals positive and negative 5.92. Now subtract 4 from both sides and you get the values negative 9.92 and 1.92. Thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and subscribe or give me a thumbs up if you're already a subscriber. Look forward to Part C soon. Thank you.